City Hong Kong Gold Cup's underway. Beauty Joy leads. Ensued flat as a biscuit on his outside. 2 lengths Romantic Warrior. It is Romantic Warrior though, moving up to take the lead. He's left them all behind. He's 3 in front of Ensued. It's the second leg of the Triple Crown. He's on target for another Triple Crown tilt, and Romantic Warrior jogs it.
Welcome to the Triple Trio. How brilliant was Romantic Warrior? Was it his absolute best last Sunday? Welcome to a huge show with the best form analysts in the business, and Clint Hutchison and the other guys in the Hall of Fame. That's how talented he was as a jockey. All the big boy is flying.
How good was it to see? I think he might be going better than ever, you know. They're all reporting that, and that was to... I know he's sort of beating a field that you'd expect him to do that. It was a shame that Voyage Bubble didn't sort of step up on the day, but Romantic Warrior, what a horse. What a horse.
What a jet he is, Golden Boy. He just put on a clinic. I don't know about the opposition, where they're at, but he's really good.
Yeah, well, it was more like a 2,400 metre race than the 200, than a 2,000, because he strung them along, Beauty Joy, which took Voyage, Bubble and My Wish out of their comfort zone. But he's just flying that horse. His action is so fluent. I think his action's better than any time of his career at present. And I said that at the start of the season before he raced from trials. He probably wouldn't rate as well, I don't know, but he's flying.
Oh, he certainly is. And well done to Danny Shum and their team. Yep. They have done a remarkable job. Talking about doing a good job, what about these guys last week?
Conrad Patch, he was in our Sid file. I'm going to take some Quinellas with a 3, 4 and 11.
Conrad Patch outside of them from Joy Capital. Conrad Patch has taken the lead. Happy Shooter's ahead to his inside. Conrad Patch is still in front of Happy Shooter, and Conrad Patch won it.
For Jerry, pick it up with Galactic Voyage, because I think this horse has also got a really good chance to win.
Bentley is the leader. Out wide of Galactic Voyage, closing on him though, and he's taken over now Galactic Voyage from Mickley inside Hermoso. Another 1, 2, 3. Galactic Voyage has beaten home Mickley.
What are you expecting his performance on the weekend?
I think he will do the same thing, try to relax him at the early stage, and in the straight, try his best, go to outside. I think similar to last start, yeah.
But now he has to stop the stablemate Stormy Grove, who dropped upon them. Invincible Ibis getting up on the rail, but it's Stormy Grove and Harry Bentley for the Classic Cup.
Yeah, how exceptional was that, Stormy Grove? Great tipping performance by the team as well. And, well, you had an interesting conversation with the Golden Boy all about the Classic Cup leading in. Let's just remind our audience.
I don't look at that race and go, oh, Little Paradise was sensational. We know that. Everyone can see that. I look at that race and the first thing I see is, why didn't Invincible Ibis beat Beauty Bolt? He beat him 2 weeks earlier and he had more weight and he beat him very comfortably. So Invincible Ibis has to run third in that race, right? But the reason he didn't was the run he had. No horse can do what he did in that race and win. Now, can he do it and win this week? I don't know. That's debatable. Who knows? Maybe not. He's not bred to run 1,800. I know that.
Well, he ended up just popping up on the inside.
Yeah, you know what? And the good news for you two is that, especially Shane, is that I've got to come up with a lunch. So
that's right. Lunch or dinner's on you.
At least I'll get the lobster this time. I might have to pay for it, but at least I'll be included. Now, well done, Shane.
Numbers was in front, and then Invincible Ibis comes up on the inside. Golden Boy, you're right. Lunches on him.
Yeah, but even if Invincible Ibis had a run last in that race, I'm still right. Oh. Right? It's irrelevant, that race. We're going on the previous race. The previous race, he was unlucky. Simple as that. No horse could have done what he did. And it's irrelevant, the following race, I think. You go on every race as an individual race because, not always they run true to form, but it did the mile run very true to form.
There is a bit to unpack out of that race, and we'll do a lot of that. I think there's still I think we'll actually probably see it pretty similarly after this race, but we'll wait and see. You never know.
You never know. I reckon there's a fair chance you will disagree with each other because that's what you tend to do. A huge show coming up. We saw Harry Bentley in the saddle. He is our very special guest. What a win that was on Stormy Grove, winning the Classic Cup. So well done to Harry, and he's a fantastic guy as well. The Idol, Global Racing. We once again go one-on-one with the CEO of the Hong Kong Jockey Club for some insight as well. Best Bet, Social Stable, literally got it all. But let's first now find some winners on Sunday at HUTCHI'S. Racing on Sunday at Sha Tin, and race number 10 is the first race that we assess here. Hutch, who do you like and why?
It's a very competitive race, but I really like Invincible Shield with a weight drop going up against better opposition. Horse that's absolutely flying at the moment. I think he can win, but horse that's been competing well against Kaying Rising Fast Network. He'll run well, but he's got a lump around top weight. Sky Trust brings that Invincible Shield form. And Beauty Waves, we'll have a look at a piece of work from him shortly, but he's going. Look, Fast Network, this form doesn't need any introduction. I think Tomodachi Kokoro Shane can improve with the gate, but Zach on, a nice inside draw with Fast Network. He can carry weight and run well. There'll be no way he can't win this race. He's certainly in the game.
I think he is. He's a lovely horse. He's done nothing wrong. He's just not as good as Kaying Rising, but who is, you know? So you can't knock him. At gate one, Zach, he'll get a good run, probably maybe 3 back. He might even try and chail, but you don't want to take him out of his comfort zone. Here's a trial up in China of the top 3, which are Wonder Bar running second, of course, Beauty Waves, and of course, Fast Network. They all had very easy trials. The whole 3 of them went okay. Clint.
Yeah, I think they went well. I mean, Beauty Waves, who we had a result on last start at the Valley when he drew wide, won well. I don't know, Shane, you think he was just sort of not quite himself earlier on? He seems like he's sort of back to his best now.
He's definitely going better than he was. There's no risk about that. You're 100% correct. Now, he's going, that race at Happy Valley was nowhere near as strong as this. You know, and he might be even a little bit better at Happy Valley than Sha Tin over 1,200 metres, but we'll see.
Yeah, what worries me a little bit about him is that there is a bit of pressure in this race as well. And he sort of went forward the other day, Richo, and I don't think he'll get his own way. So it's an interesting map, this race, actually.
Yeah, it's interesting. And also, we show a lot of those trials. What are you looking for there? You're not necessarily looking for the time they run. Is it just you just want to see their action?
Yeah, I think the good thing about when you're watching the trials in Hong Kong is that you get to know all of the horses.
Yeah.
So you know how they trial. When they're going well, you know, you sort of have that bank in the back of your mind. And he hadn't been working or trialling that well for a while, but he's going about as good as he can at the moment, I think, Beauty Waves.
Okay, so Pachitheta also. What do we consider here? Huey Bowman riding?
It's an interesting setup. I mean, I think out of this trio, actually, Tomodachi back to 1,200 might be best suited. Hugh Bowman, Shane always said that Pachitheta felt like a run on 1,200 metre horse, actually, and he won on him here. Light Years Charm will be out the back as well. But what worries me about those two, they probably have to get to go back and stand them up a lot to start. And I do prefer Light Years Charm and Patch over 14.
Well, Yui's going to get his wish here. Pachitheta from gate 11, he's going to be going back and he's going to be running on. Here's a horse who's really gone to another level this season, Sky Trust. He's racing really well, Clint, and he's not without a chance here. From gate 4, I think he's only got, 113 pounds on his back or something. So
Absolutely.
He's going to get a good run running 4th or 5th. Back to the 1,200. He's not without a chance, that horse.
And that's Invincible.
And, of course, there's Invincible Shield getting home, who was really hitting the line well.
So I think there might be about a £9 swing or thereabouts in favour of Invincible Shield. So it's quite significant.
It's too much.
And look, that was a great ride from Alice Wong on Sky Trust. He rode that horse beautifully, and he'll get a similar run this time. So I think the lightweight chances, as we often see, Shane, as well in these races, it's pretty significant, isn't it? There's not a lot between few of them, and you know when those sort of lightweight progressive types or handy horses are getting that much weight, it does, I think, turn into quite an important factor.
So Golden Boy, you're with the toppy.
100%. I'll go Fast Network, but not convinced because, as Clint said, the weight, which is a factor, Invincible Shield and Sky Trust, the weight turnaround there is why I put Invincible Shield ahead of Sky Trust.
And Stellar Express looking for 4 in a row, but tested.
He's been going well down to 1,000
metres.
and 1,200. He's the problem with the pace for Beauty Waves. He might roll forward, and Victor, the winner with a new stable as well, might apply more pressure.
Okay, so can we go back to race number 7 now? Because I want to keep you nimble. So we go from 10 back to 7.
Nimble and me don't work. Okay. Are you looking at somebody else in the room or what? Stunning Peach, absolutely flown. Was a good result for us last start. Fortune Boy, really interesting runner here. And I think he could run a bit of a race. Soleil Fighter, just tough and consistent. Packing Angel, I think he'll strip a little bit fitter. Now let's have a look at Fortune Boy. This is a potential. I mean, this is a situation, Shane, as well. And this race rated well. They would want to get into the Derby. Then they're going to need to probably get a few points up. But, you know, off a strong speed, Fortune Boy run on well here.
Yeah, he's going really good. His run 2 starts ago was excellent when he come from about 20 lengths off them and run 4th. And he is a Derby chance if he can make the field. I think if he runs well here, they'll put him in for sure. They've got to realistically.
We're going to have a chat with Harry during the show, so we'll find out.
There's a couple that you've given Harry a chance for.
Yeah, this is a really interesting run. In terms of my market in this race, look, I've got him right at the pointy end, there's no doubt, but Stunning Peach is a bit more seasoned, and if Angus can get him into a good spot, I think he'll run well. But, yeah, it'll be all systems go with Fortune Boy. He's just a bit one-dimensional. Yeah. He has no speed. He needs a bit of pressure. I don't think they'll go quite as hard here.
Well, let's have a look at Stunning Peach's win last start. So he's the one that you've got on top as a result of this.
What was good about this win, Shade, I liked, is there wasn't much pressure. He showed he's got to turn a foot. And it was a different case for him because for so long he was carrying weight and all of a sudden he dropped down and he went bang and he lifted late.
Well, when he first came to Hong Kong, to me, he looked the Derby horse and a Derby winner. He showed a lot, but then his form went off and he didn't get there. He's finally coming back to what I thought he could at the start of the season. Here's start of his career. Here's a couple of weeks ago, 1800 at Happy Valley. Soling Fighter got a soft lead and just kept running this day to win. And he's always a chance because he puts himself in a good position and he might get a soft lead here. The worry with him, though, is 131 pounds in this race. That's a worry for me, but he's a chance.
He did a good job there because he was backing up basically within a week there. So what are your numbers, Golden Boy?
I'm going to go Stunning Peach. I think he's just keeps improving. He's racing well from Packing Angel and Fortune Boy. It's not a bad race. The pace in this is interesting and how fast they go. Fortune Boy wants pace on.
So we fast forward then to race number 11 to finish the program. Who do you like?
Well, I'm hoping that Super Express can get it done. I think he clearly had excuses last start when they just let Dylan Brown McMonagle dictate the pace and pinch the race, but his win prior was huge. Matson's ready. He was a bit unlucky the other day. Choo-Chow Spirit against this field and Harold Wynn. I think they're all in the game, but Shane, I like this run. I think he's the pick of this bunch, Super Express, particularly from the barrier. They handed up too early here for mine, and as I said, Dylan just controlled the speed. But Super Express was great, and his win prior to this was huge.
Yeah, he's racing really well. He's had 7 starts and never finished further back than second. So that tells you everything you need to know. He's a very consistent horse. This horse here back a bit, which was highlighted also, Rising Phoenix. He was very unlucky this day and run well. Look at him getting to the line there, number 11. He'll definitely run well in this race, even though he only won a Class 4 2 starts ago. Here's Harold Wynn last start. He puts himself in the race. Clint from gate 2, he'll get a good run and he'll battle on, but he is what he is.
Yep, 100% agree. He's in the mix. The map was always a favour for him. Like, he'll be there or thereabouts, but I think he needs something just a little bit easier. But there's a look at some of the lineup. Everyone's star hasn't been dealt a good barrier, but he brings in similar form to Super Express. And I like the booking with Hugh Bowman on Choo-Chow Brother as well. I think there's a horse that could run well. And this Matson was a good run for Jamie Richards. Only had a couple of runs. Zach Purton, usually when he gets on one of Jamie's, they're there to run well. Yeah. And I think that's the case with this horse.
Also, 119, Clint.
Yeah, it's a big factor,
when Zach
isn't it?
ride 1-1's time.
Yeah.
The horse we haven't mentioned there is Winning Ovation.
Yeah.
Have we mentioned him?
No, we're about to right now.
Oh, wow. I jumped the ball game. I didn't even realise. This is last year, and of course, I think he had a tendon injury after this, so he's been off the scene for like 8, 9, 10 months or something. And it was a good win. He's only had the 2 runs, but he's come back this time and he's had 2 trials and they've both been really, really good. Gate 4, he'll get a good run. He's not the worst.
Well, here is one of the trials, Shane. I mean, this horse is a very interesting runner. He's a key runner. I think I'm going to price him a little bit bigger than what the market has him. 2 trials, do you think it's enough after 300 days off?
No, I'm worried. Whatever he does, he's going to improve. But on his trials, he could still win. I haven't seen his body weight yet, but that will tell me a lot how fit he is, his body weight. So have a look at that, everyone, on the Hong Kong Jockey Club website. So if it's similar to when he won, he's okay. But if it's a bit heavier, he might need a run.
And he did, I know you're a man of patterns, he did win he took 1 run last campaign, didn't he? And then he won second up. It might be a similar sort of situation.
It might be similar, but his trials have been good. He's definitely not the worst.
Who do you have on top?
Oh, it's hard to go past Super Express, number 3 from Rising Phoenix. Of course, the 11. And this is the forgotten horse. He's not going bad, this horse. People want to knock him. He's got an outside gate. He'll need luck, but he won't be far away.
Okay, 3 ahead of 12 there, Rising Phoenix.
And 2.
If you don't mind.
Everyone's star.
Well, we've mentioned him a couple of times,
Yes.
and he'd be absolutely on top of the world after his terrific win in the Classic Cup. Our star power guest, Harry Bentley.
Favourites run away from them here. Smart Golf past the 100-metre mark. He's clear of King Prophet, Alabama Song. They'll fight out the minors, but Smart Golf is going to win easily. He bolts in. The stablemate Stormy Grove, who dropped upon them. Invincible Ibis getting up on the rail, but it's Stormy Grove and Harry Bentley for the Classic Cup. Here's Game Player Elite bearing down on him now with Genius Baby, who's rushing home as well. Game Player Elite in front and Game Player Elite.
Just brilliant to see Harry Bentley right there in the front, winning with Stormy Grove in that Classic Cup. And Hong Kong Racing's James Bond joins us now. Harry, always brilliant to see you, mate. Hey, congratulations. What a good win.
Thanks. Yeah, thanks for having me. It was great. I've liked the horse throughout, having ridden him in all of his starts here. And he just seems to have gone to that next level. He's improving race in, race out. And I feel like we just got the key to him now. Now we've started to relax him and riding him a bit quiet.
Yeah, we spoke to Frankie Law on the show last week about Stormy Grove, Harry, and he was saying he was still sort of getting used to getting racing, I think, on the right lead. He'd raced in Victoria and Australia. Can you tell us a little bit about his progress, this preparation, which culminated with a win in the Classic Cup?
Yeah, that's right. He's been struggling to just switch leads. And then, as you've probably seen in his previous starts, he's had a tendency to run around a little bit once he knuckles down, and actually even when he's racing around the bend. But his last couple of starts, he seems to, I don't know, the penny seems to have dropped a bit. And he's more tractable, he's relaxing better, and as I mentioned just previously, now we're riding him that bit colder. He seems to be getting home, and he's got a really potent turn of foot.
We're going to run through this race because Shane and I haven't discussed it yet, but Shane, a big part of this race, Little Paradise missed the start quite badly, of course, and even Numbers a little tardy out of the gates, but it had a bit of an impact, I think, for the race favourite.
He erred here, Derek Leong. He shouldn't have gone to the front. They were going quick enough. And what you got to remember, and I brought this up last week, he doesn't have 115 pounds. When you've got 115 pounds, you can do it. But when you level weights, you can't do it. He should have taken a sit there, but he enforced the pace more, and it just left him with nothing the last 100. He's gone enormous. The other horse to look at is the horse running 5th, 3 deep, Dazzling Fit. That's the best run in the race as far as I'm concerned. He battled on really well. He raced with no cover the whole way, raced up there in a fast run race, and it's very hard to do. If he had a gate, oh my God, in the Derby, he's not going to be far away. And then, of course, we look at where Stormy Grove and Little Paradise are. Well, Little Paradise missed the start. Then he let him run in a fast run race early, which took his dash out of him. And, of course, here he just can't quicken because he's lost his energy from the first 200 metres. And Stormy Grove is just a really good staying type of horse who got a lovely ride back in the field, was uninterrupted and kept coming. But have a look at Little Paradise here. He gets a second wind here, and he keeps coming to the line. His run was outstanding, I thought. I thought there was nothing wrong with Invincible Ibis's run on the fence. He pulled a little bit early because Zach made him pull. if you have a look at the drone shot, Zach dug Shasha's life and it bumped Invincible Ibis, so he got travelling in the race early. You would think if he draws a gate, he's going to run 2,000 metres. So there was a lot of very good runs in that race, Clint.
It was interesting. I think with Derek's probably went out with a game plan with numbers, and then when he was a bit tardy away, probably just overdid it a little bit. But at least he knows now, like probably needs to just
he'll know for the Derby.
A bit more measured. But Harry, I mean, your guy, he's also a bit one-dimensional, isn't he? I mean, he's a kind of horse, I mean, you don't want to change anything now, I suppose, going to a Derby because he's been so good his last 2 starts.
Yeah, that's right. I think you'd be mad to try and ride him any differently. And the reason why he's able to get home and quicken is just because of riding him that bit more patiently and conserving his energy. Because actually, if you go back and watch his earlier runs here, we were riding him a little bit closer to the pace and he was over racing over shorter distances. And then just not quite getting home. So we would go out with exactly the same game plan, but obviously we need a good pace to ensure that.
Harry, how did your association come about with this horse and the owner?
Well, I mean, just fortunate really. I've ridden for Mark Chan before in the UK. He's obviously got plenty of horses with the likes of Rafe Beckett. And I just got the call up to have a sit on him before his first race. And thankfully, I've kept the ride throughout. And Mark's got some nice horses here. He's certainly had some really good horses in the UK with the likes of Kinross. So he's certainly a good owner to be associated with.
Well, he's a live chance in the Derby next month. I mean, it's interesting. My sort of take out, I think, obviously, just as far as we're concerned, I mean, Invincible Ibis, I didn't think he'd get the 1,800. He had a nice enough run through there. So I got him wrong. 1,800 was okay. And I think on the back of that run, 2,000. But I still felt there was excuses for others. I thought Numbers, Little Paradise, I think they could both bounce back with better runs in transit. Patrick Cosmo and Invincible Ibis, there's not much between them. I've got to say this is the Derby rankings, weight adjusted for a peak performance. There's actually another race on the day, Harry, that you rode, Fortune Boy, who ran really well, and it rated very high with me. So Stormy Grove enters the fray, Aerodynamics and Fortune Boy. It's interesting. It's always looked quite an even year as far as the Derby's concerned, and you're right in the mix there. But you've got a couple that you have been riding that would certainly give it a bit of a shake this year.
Yeah, that's right. It's all timing, isn't it? You've got to just get on those horses at the right time that are showing that bit more and progressing through the ranks. So, fortunately, I've been able to get on that horse that seems to be going to that next level.
And G1 Goldmine, you mentioned Dazzling Fit, and Shane mentioned Dazzling Fit was the run of that race. Yeah. From a G1 Goldmine point of view, what's the distance profile?
Yeah, well, as we say, it's not hard and fast. It's stats more than anything else. So he's got the pedigree says a mile to be his best trip. 2,000's okay, but the sweet spot's definitely a mile with that Ifraj line there as well. But, like I said, it was a pretty true test the other day. So as far as a couple of the others was concerned, like Invincible Ibis, whilst he had an economical run, he still ran well through the line. So it was a nice performance from him. But there's certainly there's a few in there you can make an excuse for.
Yeah, looking forward to watching all that develop. And Harry's going to have hopefully for him, an interesting choice to make a little later on. Harry, we look forward to your race, your rides on Sunday, and there's a few Australian jocks want to know what you've done to them because this association with D.A. Hayes. What is going on here?
Yeah, I know. I'll be looking for a retainer soon.
Fortune Boy, just quickly, Harry, he ran well the other day. What did you make of his chances this weekend? I think he's got a very good chance in that race.
Yeah, I do. He's an out-and-out stayer. We've had to just go back and ride him patiently, especially from the draws he's been having. I thought the race actually panned out really nice for him last Sunday. He's going to have to back up. And I'd say he'd had a hard enough race last Sunday, but he's very fit, very well, and he'll have another nice chance and another throw at the stumps to the Derby.
What about race 9, the 14 in Seamus Storm?
Yeah, another horse owned by Mark Chan, who's just he seems to be knocking on the door, doesn't he? He's run some really big races in the last few starts. We've got a really nice draw in 3, so I expect a big performance from him.
Yeah, he looks a nice chance. I think probably this stage sense of timing with him as well, Harry. Hey, one horse that you have enjoyed a fabulous season with early in the term, especially Tomodachi Kokoro. What a start to the season he had. I know he's well exposed, but I suppose how did you see his chances this weekend? Sort of back to 1200 and draw to gate.
Yeah, so got a great gate in 3, and nice to not be taking on the likes of Kai Ying. So that's quite nice, but. At the same time, it looks a competitive field, doesn't it? I think he, as you mentioned, he is exposed, but he's had a freshen up in Chongfa. I sat on him about half an hour ago, and he feels extremely well. He's really fresh. He's held his form and his condition extremely well. So I'd hope we get a lovely run in transit, and I don't see why he won't be thereabouts.
Yeah, with so many live chants, you'd be bouncing out of bed at the moment, mate. You must be feeling very confident and happy in Hong Kong.
Very much so. You want those good horses, don't you? And they keep you going and hopefully take you to that next level. So I'm certainly happy with how things are going at the moment, and just hope I can ride that momentum.
Yeah, and just, Harry, just before we let you go, and Stormy Grove, does he give you that feel? Does he give you that feel that he is something a little bit special?
Yeah, without doubt. I was so taken back by his start prior to the Classic Cup, and just the way he quickened off what wasn't really a very fast pace showed me that there's just something a little bit different about him. And the fact that he could back that up and do it off level weights against better opposition, cemented those feelings. And I've clearly got that excitement going into the Derby. He's going to have to step up again in distance and needs another massive performance. And of course, things need to go right. As you mentioned in that Classic Cup, a few horses didn't have the ideal trip in transit. So you always need the luck in these big races as well. But I certainly got the right feels off him.
And who do you see as the main danger, or do you think it's pretty open?
I think it is pretty open. I do think numbers with now that he's had that race where Derek will know that he needs to conserve a bit more energy, and we know he's a tried and tested stayer, so he's certainly a horse that I would keep an eye on. And then I think Little Paradise ran a massive race to come back and finish where he did. So I could make a case for a few of them, but I certainly wouldn't be swapping my horse for any other.
Now, Harry, our production team, with a single shot of you, will superimpose a dinner suit over the top. If you could just look down the barrel and say, "My name is Bentley, Harry Bentley."
Well, there are rumours they're looking for the new James Bond, so I might.
There you go. Go on, look down
I
the
might
barrel.
be 2 foot too small though.
Here's your audition, mate. Give it your best. Come on.
If Harry's going to be James Bond, I reckon you'd be the villain. Who was the bloke with a cap and Goldfinger? That'd be you, mate.
Shut up, mate.
Jaws? Wasn't there Jaws?
Let him do it. Come on, give us your best, Bentley. Come on.
Had the teeth, didn't he, in Moonraker?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, there you go.
Don't talk him out. I want to see his impersonation.
Don't embarrass him.
He's that good. Go on, Harry. Go on, give it to me.
Go on. The name's Bentley. Harry Bentley.
You're a legend, mate. All right, mate, we love chatting to you. Good luck for a big Sunday.
Cheers, guys. Thank you. Appreciate it.
What a star he is. Harry Bentley, our special guest. Oh, we cannot wait. And I think we've got nearly 3/4 already sold here. Scan that QR code. Please get involved. Trust me, you will have a wonderful, wonderful time. I know December feels like a long time away, but we've got to secure your spots. We've only got a limited amount of spots. And you want to jump on board the Hutchie fun train, I can assure you of that.
Yeah,
with Raymond Shane just dominating. We only roll him out on a couple of occasions, but by gee, he has a big impact.
He's a bit like Conor McGregor when he walks into Hong Kong as well. There's a lot of swagger. Boom, boom.
Your two boys tipping isn't too bad. Those triple trios and all the money, you really made a fortune last year.
Mate, I appreciate you extending me in with the Hatchbuster. It was him. He was absolutely brilliant. So make sure you check it out. And also a couple of WA trainers have already signed up. So we're going to have a lot of fun. It's going to be awesome. Sweet in defeat. We need to keep building this wonderful file. Had another winner during the week with Conrad Patch.
Yes, it was nice.
Well
Conrad
got
the chocolates, so that was good.
Who goes in?
Only got a couple this week. Well, of course, we had rain during the meeting on Wednesday, and the track really deteriorated. Inside was no good. This horse will be extremely hard to beat when he next goes round. Speaking of Conrad Patch, look, I think the way the race set up and the track at this day on charts, in particular at this stage of the day, inside section was way better. Zach went back, he got a little bit held up. There's nothing he could do really, from the 4 to the 150 maybe, but the way that Invictus Dragon launched late, this was a very good run, Shane. He'll be hard to beat when he next steps out.
Yeah, but he's been unlucky he's had 5 runs and he's had excuses every run this season, Clint, that horse. So he's definitely going to win one when everything goes right. There's no risk about that.
I don't think Zach's had too much to do with him though. Usually you see like a horse like that. When Zach gets on, that might happen once. Usually the real good ones, the top class riders, they don't need a second. They don't need a second, third, fourth go. They get it done pretty quick.
And Summercan goes back in. He's been in before.
He has, and look, he's well exposed and probably on his mark to an extent. But I thought, given how hard they went in that race and where he was on the track, once again, I thought there was some merit. And he's only just joined Jamie Richards as well.
Okay, and Seamus Storm is a sweet in defeat file runner running on Sunday. How far was Romantic Warrior the top raider?
Yeah, no, it was.
Surely it
was a big performance once again. I mean, he's got some incredible numbers, Romantic Warrior. But yeah, it was an interesting race. They went very hard early, Shane, and I think that the pace probably. I mean, the leader was gone at seemed to be gone about the 600, but he just travelled so well. Unfortunately, we didn't see Voyage Bubble anywhere near his best, but Romantic certainly is just going from strength to strength.
Yeah, well, when it ended up like this, the second and third horses were the two that you'd want to be on over 2,400 and not the rest. And that's why they ran second or third. But he's just fluent, everything about him. Look, I know it wasn't a strong race or anything, but he's going better than ever, that horse.
Well, the Triple Crown winner was in there. The Triple Crown, I mean, Voyage Bubble was it. I know we didn't see the best out of him, but unfortunately, he didn't turn up, Shane. That was the shame of it all.
No, he didn't. And he hasn't turned up every run this season either, Clint, that horse.
Yeah.
I know he won International Mile and he was just awesome that day. But we haven't had a run from like that consistently this season from Voyage Bubble.
Idle time for you, Golden Boy. Time for you to shine. Golden Boy, who caught your eye for the best rides of the week?
Well, there'll be a lot of boys thinking they're going to get it because there was quite a few good rides on Wednesday night and last Sunday. But I'm going to give it to Zach on Ace War, and I'm going to explain why. This was outstanding. This horse hasn't been past 1650. He hasn't had a run for a while. He was always going to pull probably because he probably didn't even want to be in the race. He was a first reserve. Now, Zach from gate 12 grabs him and takes him straight back. And he pulled so hard. But you watch Zach, his hands. Remember, I was critical of Jamie Mellon once changing hold. Yep. He doesn't change his hand at all. He keeps it there even though the horse is pulling. If he had changed his hand, that horse wouldn't have won. He would have pulled harder and been gone. And he just saved him and saved him. This is so hard, especially when you get into the back. A lot of jockeys would have pressed forward when the horse in the orange went forward, but he's still pulling him back. And what wins the race is up here. When he gets him 2 to 3 lengths last, it just made him relax more. You see him about 2 lengths last. Yeah. He's not pulling as hard as he was, even though he's still keen. And that's because he's got no horses alongside of him, so he could relax. But it would have been so easy to let him run. Now, have a look here at the far turn, which is the 550, 600. He stays on the inside. He cuts the corner. 9 out of 10 jockeys would have gone round him. And he just gets a beautiful run through. It's just flawless, this ride, on a horse that could have easily got beat. And then not only that, he doesn't hit him. He knows he's got the race won. He could have won further, but he's worried about the rating points. Great ride, Zach. Well done.
Poetry in motion, that.
Yeah,
Beautifully described by Golden Boy.
And that horse,
epic.
did Mark Newnham just pick that horse up as well, I think, as well?
Yeah, he had only had him a month or two, but he wasn't in the race. He was first reserve. So he got in because of the scratching.
You know what I couldn't believe?
Zach,
you know what I couldn't believe, Shane? That Zach only had 4 rides on Wednesday. Like, he's never been riding better. I mean, that's surprising. And he rode 3.
Hang on, is that because he's choosing not to ride, or people are not putting him on? Craziness if it's that. If it's the second
I
one.
don't know, but I'd imagine you'd think he should have a few more. But anyway, sorry, Shane. Continue with your.
Okay, so Luke Ferraris gets 2 because on Wednesday night he rode 3 horses and they're all sensational. Every single ride, go and watch them. You could have given him 3 points. His ride on Verbienne in the first was outstanding. Yeah. And Jerry last week from gate 11 ended up 3rd fence on Chill Partners and rode 3 winners. Like, there was also a couple other jocks like Andrea Orsini rode a good race on, what did I write down, Storm Runner, who just seems to have grown another leg, Clint. And Lyle HUTCHI'S rode well on Warrior's Dream.
So he's off and away, Zachy boy. I mean, he's going to take some catching from here. No negative votes again, Golden Boy?
No, not really.
Oh, not really? Or definitely not?
No.
Okay.
No, definitely not. No, I would have brought it up if there was. Don't worry about that.
I'm
not afraid to.
I know you're not. Global racing. Let's go. Well, World Racing through the Whirlpool has an unbelievable weekend. Have a look at this menu. It is mouthwatering from top to bottom. New Zealand Derby Day at Ellerslie. That's probably their greatest day. It is a sensational day. We will preview that with Sistema Stakes. Of course, the Bone Crusher, and of course the Derby as well. It's Newmarket Handicap Day at fabulous Flemington. 1,200 metres. It's like the Melbourne Cup for the sprinters. Randwick Guineas, which used to be, of course, the Canterbury Guineas. It's Canterbury Stakes Day as well. So 2 huge Group 1s in Sydney as well. And it doesn't stop there. We go to Turffontein in South Africa for the Phillies Classic and also the Chestnut Stakes as well. So it is going to be absolutely awesome racing throughout the weekend. So let's start previewing the Whirlpool races, and we start at fabulous Flemington, and this is a cracker. It is the 153rd running of the Newmarket Handicap.
Yeah, what a race. And how good to see one of the most exciting sprinters go around in Tentaris. Can he carry that weight and win a 57 kilos? But some good horses there. My Gladiola, Wotan, same age group, and they get in there with a lightweight. Look, personally, I think Shane, the extra 1.5 kilos won't stop him. 1,200's better. Benedetto was unlucky here. But he just looks like he's going to take the world of beating, even though a few, relatively speaking, meet him on better terms.
Yeah, he's awesome, this horse. Like, he is a superstar. Trust me on that. Now, it's a lot of weight, 5 kilos. That's 11 pounds turnaround. She'll get a chance to beat him here because of the weight swing. But here's Woden coming up the straight anyway. He's a Sydney horse, of course. Yeah. Chris's horses seem to go well, a lot of them, first time up the straight.
This horse, noticed, he's the value, Shane. He Wotan, he is. I'm convinced of it. He was second in a slipper. He was placed in a Golden Rose. If you're looking to back against Tentaris, and if you have it in Quinella, you have to put Wotan in. He can cause the upset. I mean, his peak figures are outstanding, and he gets 50 kilos. And see Waller with a target race like that, he'll run a big race, Wotan.
That's right. So Karis Teeton was scheduled to ride, but couldn't come out from Dubai. So Wayne Lorden comes all the way out from Ireland. Shane, what do you think?
I'm going to go Tentaris, My Gladiola. I think those two pick themselves and stand out from Angel Capital, who backed up the straight, might relax more and could run a race. Nice horse, that.
Good roughie in the race is Benedetta. This mare is flying for Kieran Maher, and Kieran Maher did it with Bella Nipotina. He just can improve these mares. Full preparation with her. Watch her. She's big price. The other race of the Whirlpool is not the Group 1 race. It's actually the Matron Stakes, Group 3 here, with a Group 1 winner at the top in Benazil.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting race. There's a few horses there that you have to sort of forgive runs for. Richo, I know that you were giving See What I See a very good chance. It'll be pretty close to favourite on the day. But I think Damask Rose deserves another chance. I think probably back to Flemington, bigger trap. This was a slow race. And, of course, Butternut Princess was good, but I think the soft pace probably suited her a little bit. So that'll be interesting. And Benazil, well, you like Benazil a little bit, don't you?
Yeah, she's quality. She's a quality mare. She's hit the line really stylishly here. And look, 2,000 metres is absolutely her number one spot. So she probably doesn't get that just yet, but she's on her way. Shane, how did you see this race? I mean, it's a toughie.
Oh, you boys are better than me, I'm guessing. So everyone out there, don't pay much attention. I'm guessing. I'm going to go, from Damask Rose and See What I See. Will put herself in the race and get a good run, and it does keep coming. Its last couple of runs have been all right, so it won't be far away.
Yeah, it does back up from last week. That's the way I like it.
Yeah, I like it though, Shane. A horse that I'm going with was very poor first up, but second up has a great record. See What I See will be there. I agree with you, Shane. Run well, I think, on the back up. And Damask Rose, don't give up yet. 6, 8, 11, 5 for me.
Okay, then we go to Sydney, Randwick Guineas. So here we have a week after the Australian Guineas. We've got a 3-year-old Guineas, 800 Ks up the road. And this is a beauty. Autumn Boy versus Attica versus Ninja versus the good filly in She's a Alibi.
I think the Victorians might get this one. They've been going all right lately in Sydney. And I think they can with She's an Alibi. In fact, I honestly believe on what we saw in the Australian Guineas that she would have won that. This was a great win. She's done this a couple of times, Shane. I'm not sure if you're across everything she's done, but she's very exciting. She originally hails from Queensland. She's come down to Peter Moody's, and she has set her it alight on a few occasions. She's a real talent.
Well, she was very impressive in the Sandown Guineas, if I remember rightly. Didn't she win by 6 lengths?
Yep,
and that's
she was
over
superb.
a mile. Here's the Sydney Brigade. He's a really nice horse, this Ninja. He should have won at the Gold Coast through a very bad ride. He would have won. And he's come back here and he rebounded. The second horse or third horse here, the Autumn Boy, you knew that he was going to get back and run on and needed the run. There's no doubt he's going to improve. And, of course, he's the Caulfield Guineas winner. I actually thought he could have won the Cox Plate if he had run him, but he doesn't run those type of horses through some unknown reason to me, but good on him. I'm going to go She's a Alibi, Autumn Boy, Ninja. I think they picked themselves quite easily, Clint.
What do you think?
I think we've got to send a note to Chris Waller.
Run 3-year-olds in the...
Yeah, he should, shouldn't he?
Well, the Golden Boy knows a bit about it.
Knows a bit of a thing or two.
Because he rode Octagonal as a 3-year-old to win.
Chris won't clash good horses against good horses. He avoids them. Don't worry about that. If he thinks it could have beat Viva Zestina, he wouldn't run it. Same as Winks. There's no risk in the world that happens.
For racing.
I've been watching Sydney for the last 5 years, and I know what happens in good races. Trust me.
Yes.
She's an alibi for me, hopefully. I think she can do it. She's might be one of the next big things going around, I reckon. She's an alibi.
What about the Canterbury Stakes? So the Group 1 sprinters here. Is this a Jolly Star versus Lady Shenandoah versus, do you forgive Biowak down the straight?
I think you do. I think you do. I mean, the performance back up in Trip was so good in the Golden Rose, wasn't it? So you have to know that that's there somewhere. But Jolly Star, she's a talent. Now tell me this, talking of great Kiwi greats, if J-Mac, how many more has he got to get the all-time record in Australia?
He's 3 away from Damien Oliver. But that's not Australian Group 1s. That's as, Australian, New Zealand riders. Right. He's on 126 and Damien Oliver on 129. He's equalled George Moore at the moment on 126. Wow.
Amazing talent.
So, do you just have Jolly Star?
I think so.
On top?
I think so. Yeah.
You're not convincing me.
Well, as we do a show early in the week on Get On, and as I said on that particular show, I can't seem to get her right, but she's very good. Napoleonic's racing well. Bay Vuck, I'll give another chance to. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'll listen to. I'll revert to Shane on this one.
She's second up here, isn't she, Jolly Star?
Yes, she is. Yep.
Okay, she's never as good second up. That's just a fact. First up, she's awesome, but you got to put her in. She looks the standout and she'll probably win. From Napoleona and Lady Shenandoah, but you got to be wary second up of... I know she's won second up, but she normally doesn't. First up, she grows a leg.
Okay.
Like, I think she's won 5 or 6 out of 7 first up, which tells you she's amazing.
Yeah, she absolutely flies. Over in New Zealand, this is the Derby field. Shane, you'll have a really good handle on this. Opie Boston's already got the 100 Group 1s there. He's riding as well. And little Billy Pinn on Autumn Glory. Geez, a good rider, Wirramoo Pinn. What do you think here, Shane?
I'm going, that's Gold Road to Paris and Autumn Glory. But those 3 stand out in the race, doing the 4-minute, and they all go all right.
And then we have the Kiwi, and this will just be simply an opportunity for us just to admire a quality horse, Hutch. This girl, I don't know if you've had a real good look at her.
I've had a good look.
She is a beauty.
Well, what she has been doing in her races, you've got to be exceptional to do. I was a little bit worried this day when he handed up a couple of spots. I thought, oh, gee whiz, you're in a tricky situation now. But Shane, I suppose when, the good horses just get you out of it so well.
Her win last year in the 1,000 guineas over a mile, if you ever get to watch that, he hit her at about the 250. And when he hit her, she put 5 lengths on them in 2 strides. That tells you how good she is. Yeah. I'm not worried about the rest. This gate too, it'll get a great run, it'll win.
So we make our way from the Whirlpool races to catch up one-on-one with the CEO of the Hong Kong Jockey Club.
You're doing a great job actually bringing the world together. Issues arise, whip rules in different jurisdictions. You've changed whip rules here, or crop rules as we should say, because whip's got a bad connotation. How do you view that?
I think one has to see changes in racing. One has to be very careful because different jurisdictions, different culture. But in the end, with this, you will drive over a certain period of time harmonization. And part of change management is you have to have a clear vision. You have to be convincing why this is important, and then you do it in racing. You have to do it step by step, and we will get in the end a complete harmonization. We had this even for me, which is from a customer, was even more concerning, non-starter rules, where you had certain non-starter rules in certain jurisdictions, where our customers, when the horse was declared a starter, even he had not a fair start, you created really customer reaction. Or when it comes to interference rules and promotion, demotion. So we have over the year, with the World Pool, has harmonized this in a business sense and the change management. So we are pretty pleased that this development has created positive consumer impact, because in the end, we have to look at the consumer. Yeah. It's not only about us.
You've always been about the customer. And with that customer, you're looking to extend racings at Sha Tin. We might have 11 on a Sunday. Eventually, we might have 12.
Yeah. I think this is an interim measure, because we normally think 10 races is optimal. But due to the fact that we have been very successful to increase our horse population, therefore our owners have been extremely enthusiastic to bring more horses in. And especially if you look at Class 4 horses, you have a lot of PPGs who had not a chance to run, and you see backup of fields. So to alleviate this pressure, we will run 11 and maybe sometimes 12, but it's not the norm. It is more in a way to support owners who pay significant livery fee. And you have then to give the horse a chance to run and not say, oh, sorry, we are full and you can come 4 weeks later. It's not a good owner's experience. So that's a modification we plan. But when we have, from October 26, the new race course in China, in Chongfa, we have more opportunities as horses get more chances. So we build up the horse population in planning for this additional race meetings we will run. So our owners was a little bit too enthusiastic and imported them earlier, so we have to manage it.
So what's the timing of Chongfa, you think?
30th of October 2026, we will open this extremely interesting facilities. The training center has been a great success, and one of the success of Kaiying Rising is a lot of time trained in Chongfa. Yeah. And we will then showcase racing in Chinese mainland with global exposure. So we're looking forward to October 26.
18 wins in a row, and it is history at Sha Tin.
Why is it important for you to keep developing this?
We want to be a global leader when it comes to horse racing, but it's not only for us. I personally believe as a sport, we have to show what the best are. and we have to show it internationally, because our sport is definitely in a challenging time. And if you want to be a sport who is really recognized and build a fan base globally, then you need events like this who attract fans from around the world. And this is what we are happy to have achieved and that we want to share. And we are delighted that this coverage goes practically to 28 countries, which in the end showcase horse racing at its best.
Social stable, a couple of items to get through, and we started with such sadness on a couple of fronts. First, on Saturday, the news broke about the passing in her late 20s of the mighty Makybe Diva. There'll be a lot of discussion about who was the best horse we've seen in Australia. The one thing I will say about her is she won the races that you want to win. She won a Cox Plate. She won 3 Melbourne Cups. I mean, brilliant.
The first of which for the Hong Kong-based David Hall as well.
Yeah.
So I'm sure special place in his heart as well. So, yeah, it was very sad news.
And then an iconic jockey, an Australian Racing Hall of Famer, one of only 8 jockeys to win the Grand Slam of Australian racing in Pat Hyland, passed away. Had a long battle with illness. So love to the Hyland family. After Sing Dragon, of course, going to Dubai, and then for Karis Teeton and the family, hard to get home.
Well, like a lot of world's leading jockeys, I think Ryan Moore, Willie Buick, a lot of them were obviously stuck in that part of the world due to the political situation. So glad to see Karis on his way back. Now, he was due to come to Australia. He won't be here to ride Woden this weekend, of course.
That's right. So and Brittany Wong is cleared to ride after injury, which is great news as well.
Yep. Let's wish her all the very best. She's a little firecracker.
She certainly is. Shade, I don't know if you've been watching what's been going on. The Live Golf's over in Hong Kong, and the jocks and the trainers said, we want to get part of this.
I know Casper would want to for sure. He'd be there every day playing. Where is he? Is he there? No, there's Tony.
No, not in this one. But don't worry, Cass will be there somewhere. He would have been, and Huey Bowman loves his golf as well. So there's Brett Crawford. So a great opportunity for the trainers.
Jockeys on golf courses, including Shane Dye, bandits.
Yep.
That's what it is.
I should just warn everyone, be very wary of Casper Founds on a golf course. He'll throw off. And then when the money gets bigger, all of a sudden he plays better.
Oh, yeah. Who would have thought it?
It's very funny that, Richo.
Isn't it? I like the way he moves. Let's have a look at our best bets. Best bets time. Where do we go, Hutch?
Yeah, it's an interesting meeting. I mean, it's a mixed meeting, but I think Invincible Shield will be tough to beat. I really like that last run. I like the fact it gets in with a nice weight as well, and I think we can take a couple of Quinellas in that race. We only need the 2 horses in the queue. Now, a bit of value, hopefully, with this horse. I reckon this race has been planned out from John Sides for some time.
Oh, yeah.
Bundle of Charm, back in this grade, back on this service. He hasn't won in a while, and he's drawn wide. Don't worry about the wide gate. He can run well back on the all-weather. Hopefully, he's a price.
Okay. Who do you like, Golden Boy?
A Bundle of Charms dirt form's really good, Clint. That's going to help him. I'm going to go race 4 in the other division. Good Chap, number 6. One last start, run a very fast time compared to the other division, and he's trialled since then and trialled extremely well. He'll run well for sure. Go the Kiwis in the cricket on the weekend.
Yeah, good luck to the Kiwis. Wonderful show by you, Raymond Chain. Hutch?
Good luck.
Good luck, mate. And thank you to Harry Bentley for joining us.